right, moment of truth here. It is May 2nd. I am just now sitting down to even think about the new month and the goals that I have for that month. April was wild, like absolutely a wild month. So many incredible things happening in my personal life. Today alone, we just went and met with an architect. We are in the process of planning out building our dream home, but there were so many other things that were going on in April, and now May is here. I cannot believe May is already here, but we are going to sit down and quickly get to planning the month because I know when I get this planned, I feel so much better. So we're gonna sit down, we're gonna do it. Really what I do month to month is about the same. I just kind of update my goals, change out the books that I'm reading, add anything new that maybe I want, or sometimes I don't add anything new at all. I really just extend the goals that I'm already working on right now. Now that I've rearranged my office, I have moved my vision board. My desk is over here on this wall now, and so my vision board is actually up here now. So that is what I'm looking at as I'm talking to you, and I am looking up there thinking of, for the most part, really there's not going to be much different as far as my goals. So this is going to be pretty simple, but I need to just get it done and do it, and I will feel so much better, and that way we can just get on with our month and start crushing some goals. So let's do it. Okay, so I have made my new vision board, and like I said, honestly, a lot of these things are the same. There's a few things that I've added because it is springtime and I'm getting outside more and I'm doing some things that are very seasonal. So I've added a couple of those things, but just to really quickly go through it, weekly date nights continue to be a thing that will forever be on here. So if you've seen one before, you've heard me say that before, you're gonna hear me keep saying it for every vision board I ever do. I cannot imagine a vision board monthly or yearly that I ever make that's not going to have that on there, because that is so important to me with my marriage and my husband, and to spend that time and just to be so intentional with that. So continuing my goal of reading personal development, doing 10 pages. I am currently listening to an audiobook, so that is something that I'm doing in addition, and I'm not necessarily counting that in that, but this audiobook has been really good, so I'm including that in there. Personal health journey, I'm going to start a new program next Monday, actually on May 8th, and I'm super excited for that. 25 minutes a day, 5 days a week, only 3 weeks long. I'm super excited about it. It's a program that I've actually done in the past, and it's a remake of it, and I'm really excited. If you've ever heard of Shaun T, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He brings so much motivation, excitement, fire, all of the things, and I am here for it, and I cannot wait to start his program on Monday. Then going down to the next line, continuing to follow my 12-week year. That's been going pretty well. I simplified this 12-week year, made it easier to follow, but just more, not even easier to follow, but more simple in the sense that like I can do these things and I haven't overwhelmed myself with it, which has been so nice. Church, continuing to attend weekly whenever there isn't a conflict. I do have a conflict this upcoming weekend, which kind of stinks, but otherwise attending and serving at 2 different services in our Life Kids area, and I love it so much. Doing a community event, wanting to get together with just some gals in my community. With my work, what I get to do is I help women with their health and wellness, and I like to get together and spend actual physical time like in person with them. That bonding is just amazing, and so getting to do that. Weekly family dinners, we actually had one here at my house last night. I hosted my family, so that might count for this week's family dinner, but continuing to do this weekly. We are planting a garden. My dad is helping me plant a garden. He's always helped with that, and then I always help him as well with their garden, but we are in the process of getting that planted, and I'm gonna take care of all of that. I'm so excited. I'm actually gonna have 2 different garden spots this year. We've done 2 years in a row a garden in a certain spot, and it's done okay, but we decided this year to kind of try something different. So some like squash and zucchini tend to grow really well in the spot that we've been using, but like my tomatoes don't tend to do so well in this spot, so we're gonna try to put them in a different spot and see if they do a little bit better. If you are someone who gardens or who does that sort of thing, please drop it in the comments. I am all about the gardening. I wanna know more about it. I wanna be better at it. I wanna have a green thumb. Like, I have my plants in here, obviously, but these are way easier, in my opinion, than growing a garden. And so any tips that you have or suggestions, send them my way. I've had gardens for a couple of years now, but I definitely do not feel like I'm a pro by any means. So Continuing on with my goal, of course, of reading 30 minutes of fiction every single day and eating lunch away from my desk. Being on time. I don't really go to a lot of places where I have to be on time, but I still want this to be a goal, and I want to make sure that I'm on time when I am going to things. Continuing with my budgeting. I will say I have struggled with doing my taxes weekly, and to be honest, I forgot that that was even on here until I sat down and I was reading through the goals, and I was like, oh, definitely haven't been doing that. So, and it's May, so that means 4 months of the year have already gone by and I have tracked 0 taxes. So that's frustrating because I know how frustrated I get when the year ends and I have to sit down and do it all. So I need to make time for that. Like, that has to be a priority. I have also started crocheting. I'm teaching myself to crochet using YouTube videos and, you know, just doing the best that I can. I haven't made anything yet. I'm just like trying to get the hang of it, but I have really, really enjoyed that. And just that way, if I'm sitting down watching TV with my husband or just sitting outside and I don't feel like reading at the time, what a fun thing that I could be doing. So also my thoughts are, if I'm going to be traveling any, I get sick if I try to read while traveling, like riding in the car with others, obviously not when I'm driving. And so I thought that could be a fun way to, you know, kind of pass the time if I'm not taking a nap or, you know, talking with those in the car. Or even if I am talking, I could be talking while I'm crocheting. Continuing my Fridays with my niece. I love to spend that time with her and doing fun activities with her. Continuing on with my YouTube channel here. Like I said, April has been insane. So my YouTube uploading schedule was not what I necessarily planned for it to be. So I do apologize for that. But I promise you, I am trying the best that I can. And I have decided that I'm going to kind of revamp how I do these. I've done a ton of sit down and just chat at you. And I don't want them to be so much chatting at you. I want it to be more interactive in the sense of showing more behind the scenes things, maybe doing more voiceovers of when I am showing something, having more scenes that maybe just have music, maybe having text on the screen. I know that I really enjoy watching those sorts of videos. I do like a good sit down video every now and then, but I also like a nice mixture of some other styles of videos. And so I really feel like I want to do that with my own channel. So I'm going to try that out. So let me know your thoughts about that in the comments if you have any. Continuing on with my goal of creating products and putting those on TPT. Continuing, of course, with my job, my full-time work of my Simple and Purposeful Wellness community. I am so passionate about getting to help women with their health and wellness, and that will continue to be a thing forever as well. So just continuing to pour my heart into that, but also creating that divide of like, when it's time to work, it's time to work, and when it's not time to work, we're not focusing on work. There has been a time where I have been someone who maybe would be considered a workaholic, and I just give everything I can into my work. And when it comes to health and wellness, if you've ever been on a health journey yourself, you know that at the end of the day, it comes down to you. It doesn't come down to the workout program you're doing. It doesn't come down to the nutrition program you're following. It comes down to you showing up for you. Because if you don't show up for you, you're not going to get a workout in. If you don't show up for you, you're not going to eat whatever meal plan or nutrition plan you're following. And so sometimes I put a lot of that pressure on myself as the person that is kind of helping these people get started and on their journeys. And I put that pressure that like if they're failing, it's because I failed them. And I have come to learn that that is absolutely not the case, because when I flip it around, if I think about my own personal health and wellness journey, I know for a fact, like, I am the reason that I have stuck to a healthy lifestyle for the last almost 6 years consistently. It's because I showed up. It's not because I had somebody else telling me to show up or somebody else making sure I was showing up. It's because I simply made the choice, created the habits, developed the consistency to do that. And so once I finally flipped it around and thought of it that way, I realized that I was putting way too much pressure on myself, expecting that I had the control on whether or not people succeeded or didn't. And so it's like, you know, only God can do that. He's the only one that has that kind of control. So who am I to think that I have that? I do not. So continuing just to be a super, super supportive friend, accountability partner in people's journeys is my goal and is my mission. And I realized when I've taken that step back a bit, I show up better. I show up better as that accountability partner for these women. And they're also taking more ownership of their journeys, which means they're enjoying their journeys more, because it feels really good when you're like, you know, I'm going to show up because I said I was going to show up. And then you show up and then you're like, I showed up. Like, that feels so good. So it just has been so, so good. And then the final thing that I have on my vision board is I finally want to try doing a sourdough starter. So I have made bread. I have done my own homemade bread multiple times now. And if I do say so myself, I have like done really well. Like, it is delicious. Lately, I've been all about the avocado toast. Oh my gosh, all about the avocado toast with some everything bagel seasoning over top. Delicious. But I love having it on my own personal homemade bread. Yesterday morning, I woke up after we had some family over for the weekend, and we used all the bread up. I made a breakfast casserole and I used my bread in it, and all the bread was gone. And I went to have my avocado toast yesterday and I was like, oh no, I don't have my bread. And we had some bread in the fridge, but it was store-bought bread and I did not want store-bought bread. So I made 2 more loaves of bread yesterday, and I just pushed my avocado toast off until having it as an afternoon snack, and it was perfection. So now I want to move into the area of doing the sourdough starter and trying to go about it in that way. I just think that would be another fun thing, a neat thing to learn about. So anyways, those are my goals for May. Like I said, most of them are basically the exact same thing that they were in April, a continuation of what the goals were. Some of these are just consistency and just habits that I'm working on. So I am super, super excited that this is done now, because I have been feeling less than motivated today just because I am exhausted after the last week. It has been an incredible last 7 days, but it's been a lot. And I am somebody who, I need that like alone time to really just like calm down, you know, de-stress. Like, I'm the introvert in the sense that my battery gets charged with my alone time, and then when I'm around people, it lessens my battery. You know, I lose the charge on my battery, if you will. And so I need that alone time again to charge it back up. And I haven't had much alone time, and so I am just feeling like exhausted after the last week. But like I said, it's been an incredible week. I don't regret any of it, but it's just something to keep in mind and to know. I'm so thankful that I know that about myself, because in these moments, years ago, before I understood that this is how my body and brain worked, I would be like, what's wrong with me? Like, why am I feeling exhausted? Why am I not feeling, you know, motivated or excited? Like, what's wrong with me? And now I just know it's because I haven't been plugged back into the wall, if you will, to charge, and I need that time to do that. And so today and tomorrow is going to allow for some of that, which is really good, but I needed to also get these goals set, and I'm so glad that I sat down and went ahead and did that. So glad that I could bring this to you. I know a lot of you look forward to these and try to do your planning sessions along with mine, so I always apologize when I don't get these out right away, but just know I am human too. I love you so much. I'm so thankful that you are here and supporting me, and I am here. I'm going to be bringing more and more content to you. If you have anything that you want to see specifically, if you have any comments about any of the things that I put on here, like gardening or crocheting or sourdough, or anything else, make sure to drop those in the comments, and otherwise we will see you in the next video.